I woke up that Tuesday morning to an empty bed. At first I thought Amanda was in the kitchen making breakfast or getting Lily ready for school, but the house was quiet, too quiet. In the kitchen, a small note on the counter read, "I need some time." Her travel bag was gone, so was she. I called her phone, straight to voicemail. I checked social media, nothing. As panic set in, Lily asked, "Where's Mommy?" I had no answer. How do you tell your 7-year-old that her mother vanished without explanation? Before I share how my seemingly perfect marriage suddenly shattered, tell me where you are watching from. Hit that like and subscribe so I can update you on whether my wife ever returns. For 9 years, I believed Amanda and I had built the perfect life together. We had a beautiful house in a quiet Houston suburb, great jobs, and our amazing daughter Lily, who had just started 2nd grade. I worked as a software engineer at a tech firm downtown while Amanda managed accounts for an advertising agency. Weekday mornings followed the same rhythm. I would wake up at 6, brew coffee, and get ready for work while Amanda prepared breakfast. Lily would stumble downstairs around 6:30, still half asleep, clutching her favorite stuffed rabbit. We looked like the ideal family to everyone around us. Our friends always commented on how well we complemented each other. Tom and Jessica, our neighbors for 5 years, frequently invited us for weekend barbecues, saying they wished they had what we had. Even my parents, who visited every few months from Pennsylvania, would tell us how proud they were of the life we had built together. My mom would whisper to me, "You got so lucky with Amanda." I believed it too. Looking back, the warning signs had been there for weeks, maybe months. I was just too blind, too comfortable, or maybe too afraid to see them. Amanda had grown increasingly distant, our conversations shorter and more superficial. "How was your day?" was answered with "fine" instead of the detailed stories she used to share. When I asked follow-up questions, she would claim exhaustion or change the subject. Then there were the secret phone calls. Amanda would step outside to take calls claiming it was work-related and she needed privacy. Sometimes I would catch glimpses of her expression through the window. She smiled differently, a smile I had not seen directed at me in a long time. About 2 months ago, she bought a new smartphone without discussing it with me first. When I asked about it, she casually mentioned needing an upgrade for work purposes. The old phone disappeared. I never saw it again. That should have raised more questions, but I trusted her completely. Her appearance began changing too. Amanda suddenly developed an intense interest in fitness, joining a gym and attending classes 4 times a week. She bought new clothes, changed her hairstyle, and started wearing makeup even on weekends at home. While I initially supported this apparent self-improvement kick, something felt off about the timing and intensity. Her work schedule became increasingly unpredictable. She would text last minute about client dinners or urgent projects requiring late nights at the office. When she came home, her explanations were vague, lacking the specific details she would normally share about work challenges. The scent of unfamiliar cologne sometimes lingered faintly on her clothes. Our physical relationship had diminished significantly as well. What was once natural and frequent became rare and mechanical. She would turn away in bed, claiming tiredness or headaches. When we did connect physically, she seemed mentally absent, going through the motions without truly being present. The morning she disappeared started like any other. I woke up at 6, showered, and headed downstairs to make coffee. Amanda was still in bed, which was unusual but not alarming. I assumed she was tired from working late the previous night. After getting my coffee, I went back upstairs to wake Lily for school, but noticed Amanda was no longer in our bedroom. I figured she must be in the bathroom or already downstairs, but after checking every room in the house, I realized she was nowhere to be found. Her side of the closet had gaps where clothes should have been. Her travel bag, the blue one she always used for overnight trips, was missing. That was when I spotted the note on the kitchen counter. Just 5 words: "I need some time." My heart raced as I called her cell phone. Straight to voicemail. I texted her. No response. I checked her location on our family tracking app. Her phone appeared to be off. Emails went unanswered. Social media showed no recent activity. It was as if she had simply vanished into thin air. Lily came downstairs in her unicorn pajamas, rubbing sleep from her eyes. "Where is Mommy?" she asked innocently. I forced a smile and told her mommy had to leave early for work. The lie felt bitter on my tongue, but what else could I say? How could I explain something I did not understand myself? I went through the motions of our morning routine, making Lily breakfast, helping her dress for school, and checking her backpack while my mind raced with increasingly terrifying scenarios. Had Amanda been in an accident? Was she hurt somewhere? Had she been planning this for days, weeks, or months? What had I missed? After dropping Lily at school, I called in sick to work, something I rarely did. My boss, understanding the urgency in my voice, told me to take all the time I needed. That was when the real search began. I had no idea that what I would discover would completely shatter the foundation of everything I believed about our marriage. The first 24 hours after Amanda disappeared were a blur of panic, confusion, and desperate attempts to locate her. I called every friend and family member she was close to. Her sister Karen in Austin had not heard from her. Her parents in Florida were equally clueless and immediately concerned. Her best friend Taylor claimed complete ignorance, though something in her voice made me wonder if she knew more than she was saying. I kept up appearances for Lily, maintaining her routine as normally as possible. I drove her to and from school, helped with homework, and prepared meals while fighting back my own increasing anxiety. Each night when I tucked her in, she asked when Mommy would be home from her work trip. Each night the lie grew heavier. "Soon, sweetie. She has important work to do." By the second day, I had contacted local hospitals, filed a missing persons report with the police, and checked nearby hotels. The police officer, a middle-aged man named Officer Reynolds, took my statement but did not seem particularly concerned. "Sir, adults have the right to leave. There is no evidence of foul play. This appears to be a domestic situation." His tone suggested this was not the first time he had seen a spouse suddenly leave. I decided to dig deeper into our financial records, something Amanda and I had always shared openly. The first shock came when I discovered a withdrawal of $5,000 from our joint savings account 3 days before she disappeared. The transaction had been made in person at a branch across town, not our usual location. Next, I checked our credit card statements. There was a purchase at an upscale clothing store. I had never heard of a hair salon in an expensive part of town, and several restaurant charges at times when Amanda claimed to be working late. None of these were part of her normal spending patterns. While searching through her desk drawer for any clues, I found something that made my heart sink. Crumpled in the wastebasket was a printed airline confirmation for a round-trip ticket to Las Vegas, departing the morning she disappeared. The ticket was just for her, not a business group. We had never discussed any plans for her to go to Las Vegas. With mounting dread, I contacted a private investigator named Jason Parker, who specialized in missing persons and marital investigations. He was a former police detective with 20 years of experience and came highly recommended by a colleague who had gone through a similar situation. He did not sugarcoat his services or what he might find. Most of the time when a spouse disappears suddenly like this, especially with money and personal belongings, they have gone to someone else, he said bluntly during our first meeting. "Are you prepared for what I might discover?" I nodded, though truthfully, nothing could have prepared me for what came next. Within 48 hours, Jason had uncovered a secret email account Amanda had been using for months. The account contained hundreds of messages between her and someone named Brian Thompson. From the context, I learned Brian was a client at her advertising agency, the owner of a successful chain of fitness centers across Texas. The emails started professionally but quickly evolved into something deeply personal and intimate. They exchanged details about their lives, complaints about their current relationships, and increasingly explicit messages about their physical attraction to each other. The most recent emails discussed their plans to meet in Las Vegas, away from prying eyes in Houston. Jason also discovered hotel reservations at the Bellagio under Brian's name for a suite with a king bed. The reservation was for 5 nights. In one email, Amanda had written, "I cannot wait to wake up next to you without having to rush home. 5 whole days of just us." The final blow came when Jason showed me photographs. Using his contacts, he had obtained security camera footage from a restaurant downtown where Amanda and Brian had met multiple times. The images showed them holding hands across the table, kissing in the parking lot, entering a hotel together in the middle of a workday. The timestamps confirmed these meetings occurred during times she had told me she was working late. Jason also found an Instagram account Amanda had never mentioned, under a slightly altered version of her name. The account featured photos of her in outfits I had never seen at locations I did not recognize, often with Brian partially visible in the frame. Their relationship had been hiding in plain sight, just not in the places I would think to look. As I stared at the evidence spread across my dining room table, I felt physically ill. 9 years of marriage, countless promises of love and fidelity, the family we had built together. All of it had been undermined by secrets, lies, and betrayal. The Amanda I thought I knew, the woman I had built my life around, was a stranger to me now. The revelation of Amanda's affair with Brian devastated me completely. I spent that night alternating between fits of rage, periods of numbness, and episodes of uncontrollable crying. How could she do this? What had I done wrong? Could I have prevented this somehow? Had she ever truly loved me, or was our entire relationship built on deception? Sleep became impossible. When I closed my eyes, I saw the images of Amanda and Brian together. My appetite disappeared entirely, and within a week I had lost 10 pounds. Coworkers noticed my disheveled appearance during video meetings, but I blamed it on a flu. I could not bear to explain the humiliating truth. The hardest part was facing Lily. Children have an uncanny ability to sense when something is wrong. After a week of Mommy is on a business trip, excuses her questions, became more pointed. Why does Mommy not call me before bedtime like she always does on trips? Why did she not say goodbye to me? Is Mommy mad at us? Each question was like a knife to my heart. Eventually, Lily stopped believing my thin explanations. She began having nightmares and waking up crying for her mother. Her teacher called, concerned about her sudden withdrawal in class and mentions of her mother leaving because Daddy did something bad. Somehow she had internalized the idea that her mother's disappearance was my fault. Perhaps that was easier for her to process than the reality that her mother had chosen someone else over her own daughter. After nearly a week of silence, my phone rang with Amanda's number. My hands shook as I answered. Her voice was calm, almost cold, as if we were distant acquaintances rather than husband and wife of 9 years. "Riley, I need to talk to you about what happens next," she began, without even asking about Lily. "What happens next?" I repeated, my voice rising despite my efforts to control it. "You disappear for a week, abandon your daughter, and that is how you start this conversation." There was a pause before she continued. "I am sorry it happened this way. I did not mean to hurt you or Lily, but I am not happy anymore. I have not been happy for a long time." "And Brian makes you happy?" I asked, the name like poison on my tongue. Her sharp intake of breath confirmed what I already knew. "How did you find out about him? Did you think I would just sit here wondering where my wife went? That I would not look for answers?" The bitterness in my voice surprised even me. "Brian and I connected in a way I have not felt in years," she said, as if that justified everything. "We are in love, Riley. I want a divorce." The word hung in the air between us. Divorce. The end of everything we had built together. "What about Lily?" I finally asked. "How could you leave her without even saying goodbye?" I panicked, Amanda admitted. "I knew if I saw her face I might not be able to go, but I am coming back next week to see her. I want shared custody." The audacity of her statement left me speechless. She had abandoned our daughter without a word, and now expected to waltz back into her life and claim parental rights as if nothing had happened. "Brian and I are planning to buy a house together in the Woodlands. It has great schools. Lily will love it there when she stays with us." That was when something inside me snapped. The thought of my daughter being shuttled between homes, forced to accept this man who helped destroy her family, living in a house bought with the money that should have been securing her future with both parents present. It was too much. "You do not get to disappear for a week, shack up with your boyfriend, and then dictate terms about our daughter's future," I said, my voice low and controlled despite the rage building inside me. "You chose to leave. You chose him over your family. There are consequences to those choices, Amanda. Are you threatening to keep Lily from me?" Her voice rose in alarm. "She is my daughter too. I will fight you for her, Riley." "Do not think I will not." "I am not threatening anything," I replied. "I am stating facts. You abandoned your family without warning. You withdrew money from our joint accounts. You are having an affair. If you want to discuss Lily's future, you can do it through a lawyer." I ended the call before she could respond, my whole body shaking. For the first time since she left, I felt something other than despair. I felt anger, and beneath that anger was something else, determination. If Amanda thought she could tear apart our family and then dictate terms that suited her new lifestyle, she was about to learn otherwise. I would not roll over and accept this. Not when Lily's well-being was at stake. That night, after putting Lily to bed, I made a decision. I would not be a passive victim in Amanda's carefully orchestrated exit from our marriage. I would take control of the situation to protect myself and my daughter. The next morning, I contacted Monica Garcia, a divorce attorney recommended by my colleague who had gone through a bitter custody battle the previous year. Monica listened carefully to my story, taking detailed notes and asking pointed questions about Amanda's disappearance, the evidence of her affair, and the current situation with Lily. She did not mince words about what lay ahead. "Based on what you have told me, we have a strong case for primary custody," she explained. "Abandonment without proper arrangements for a minor child is taken very seriously by family courts. However, we need to document everything and prepare for Amanda to paint a different picture." Under Monica's guidance, I began building a case. I forwarded all the evidence from the private investigator to her office. I kept a detailed journal of Lily's emotional state and behaviors following her mother's disappearance. I documented every communication attempt and Amanda's responses or lack thereof. I saved the school counselor's report about Lily's emotional distress. On the financial front, I moved quickly. Monica advised me to open individual accounts and transfer half of our remaining joint funds to protect them from further withdrawals. I updated the beneficiaries on my life insurance and retirement accounts. I gathered all our financial records, property documents, and tax returns for the past 5 years. Knowledge was power, and I needed all the power I could get. I also installed security cameras around our house. If Amanda decided to show up unannounced, possibly with Brian, I wanted evidence of any confrontation. Monica warned me that heated exchanges during this period could be used against either party in custody hearings. Beyond the legal preparations, I knew I needed support to get through this. My parents immediately offered to come stay with us to help with Lily and provide emotional support. My father, typically reserved with his emotions, embraced me upon arrival and simply said, "You are stronger than you know, son. We will get through this together." My best friend Frank became my lifeline. He would come over after Lily went to bed bringing food, since he knew I was barely eating, listening as I processed my anger and grief, and sometimes just sitting in silence when words failed me. He never judged or offered platitudes, just unwavering support. I also joined an online support group for parents going through divorce. Hearing stories from others who had survived similar betrayals gave me hope that eventually the pain would lessen. One member, a father of 2 who had discovered his wife's affair 3 years prior, told me something that became my mantra: "The best revenge is to rebuild a life so beautiful that they wonder how they could have ever left it behind." Recognizing the toll the situation was taking on my mental health, I started seeing Dr. Sarah Williams, a therapist specializing in trauma and betrayal. Our weekly sessions became a safe space to express the darker emotions I hid from everyone else. The rage that made me want to destroy every photo of Amanda in our house. The humiliation of being left for someone else. The terror that I might not be enough for Lily on my own. Dr. Williams helped me process these feelings without being consumed by them. For Lily, I arranged sessions with a child psychologist who specialized in parental separation. I also met with her teacher and school counselor to ensure they understood our situation and could provide additional support. Everyone agreed that consistency and reassurance were crucial for her emotional stability during this time. Exactly 9 days after her disappearance, Amanda texted that she was coming by the house to collect some belongings and see Lily. What she did not mention was that Brian would be accompanying her. When they pulled into our driveway in his luxury SUV, the security cameras captured everything. I met them at the door, blocking the entrance. "Amanda, you are welcome to collect your personal items, but you need to come alone. And if you want to see Lily, We need to arrange that through our attorneys with proper notice. Amanda looked stunned, clearly, not expecting this level of opposition. She is my daughter. You cannot keep her from me. I am not keeping her from you, I replied calmly, conscious of the recording. I am establishing boundaries after you abandoned her without explanation. Any changes to her routine now need to be planned and structured for her emotional well-being. Brian stepped forward, attempting to intimidate me with his physical presence. Look, man, we just want to make this easy on everyone. Amanda wants to see her kid and get her stuff. Why are you being difficult? I turned to face him directly. I do not believe we have been properly introduced. You must be the man who helped my wife lie to our family for 6 months. The man she left her 7-year-old daughter for without saying goodbye. Forgive me if I am not interested in making things easy for you. I then handed Amanda a folder containing a copy of the separation agreement my attorney had prepared, which included temporary custody arrangements and financial provisions. My lawyer's contact information is on the first page. Have your attorney contact her to arrange a proper visitation schedule and property division. Brian's expression changed as he glanced at the documents, particularly the pages containing photos of him and Amanda together at various locations. You had us followed, he asked incredulously. I hired someone to find my missing wife, I corrected. Finding you was an unfortunate side effect. Amanda stepped closer, lowering her voice. Riley, please. Can I at least see Lily for a few minutes? She must be so confused. Yes, she is confused. She thinks she did something wrong to make her mother leave without saying goodbye. She cries herself to sleep, asking for you. And now you want a few minutes with her before disappearing again with him, I gestured toward Brian. That is not happening today. Not like this. As they returned to the car, I overheard Brian asking Amanda, you said he would be a pushover. What else have you not told me about this situation? The seed of doubt had been planted. Brian was beginning to see that Amanda's version of our marriage and her departure might not be entirely truthful. That confrontation marked a turning point. I had stood my ground. I had protected my daughter from more emotional whiplash. And for the first time since Amanda left, I felt like I might actually survive this. 3 months passed before our case went before a family court judge for temporary custody arrangements. Those months were filled with legal filings, negotiations through attorneys, and carefully documented visitations between Amanda and Lily. I had insisted on supervised visits initially, given the abrupt abandonment which the court supported. During this time, several unexpected developments shifted the dynamics significantly in my favor. First, Brian discovered Amanda had not been entirely honest with him about our marriage. She had painted me as controlling and emotionally unavailable to justify her affair. When he learned from mutual friends that this narrative was largely fabricated, he began questioning what else she might have lied about. Second, Amanda's sister Karen, who initially remained neutral, came forward with text messages showing Amanda had planned her exit strategy for months, including deliberately creating situations she could later point to as examples of marital problems. Karen, concerned about Lily's well-being, could no longer stay silent about her sister's calculated behavior. Most significantly, Brian ended his relationship with Amanda after discovering she had been in contact with another man while in Las Vegas, someone she had apparently met at a casino bar. The fantasy of their perfect new life together shattered. He withdrew his financial support, including the down payment on the house in the Woodlands they had been planning to purchase. The court awarded me primary custody of Lily, with Amanda granted weekend visitation rights. Our family home remained with me as Amanda had voluntarily left and established separate residence. The judge cited Amanda's pattern of prioritizing personal desires over parental responsibilities in the custody decision. While the legal victory provided validation, the emotional healing took longer. Lily continued her therapy sessions, gradually processing her feelings about her mother's choices. Some days were harder than others. She would still occasionally ask why Mommy did not want to live with us anymore. Each time I carefully explained that sometimes adults make choices that hurt people they love, but that did not mean Lily was any less lovable or that her mother did not care for her. My own healing journey progressed in fits and starts. There were days when anger still consumed me, when memories of our life together would ambush me unexpectedly. A family photo I had missed taking down, or a song that reminded me of better times. Dr. Williams helped me understand that healing is not linear. Some days you will move forward, others you might slip back. Both are part of the process, she assured me. Gradually, I established new routines and traditions with Lily. Sunday morning pancake making became our special time together. We joined a parent-child swimming class at the local recreation center. I learned to braid her hair through YouTube tutorials and countless patient attempts. Each small victory, each moment of connection with my daughter, helped rebuild my confidence as a parent. Physically, I began taking care of myself again. Frank convinced me to join his morning running group. The combination of exercise and social interaction became a lifeline, pushing me out of bed on mornings when grief threatened to keep me under the covers. I rediscovered my love for cooking, preparing healthy meals for Lily and myself, instead of the endless takeout we had subsisted on immediately after Amanda left. I also reconnected with old hobbies. Before marriage and fatherhood, I had played guitar in a local band. My instrument had gathered dust in the closet for years. One evening I pulled it out, tuned the strings, and began playing again. Lily was fascinated, asking for lessons. Those music sessions became another thread in the new tapestry of our lives. At work, I gradually regained my focus and even received a promotion I had been working toward before the divorce. My boss later confided that my ability to maintain professional standards while navigating personal upheaval had impressed the executive team. "Resilience like yours is rare," he told me. Socially, I found unexpected connections with other single parents at Lily's school. What began as practical arrangements, carpools, and childcare sharing evolved into genuine friendships. Jennifer, a single mom whose husband had also left unexpectedly, became particularly important in our lives. Her daughter Maya and Lily bonded instantly, giving both girls a friend who understood their specific pain. The most profound change came in my perspective on relationships and happiness. The marriage I thought was perfect had been built partly on illusion, on my willingness to overlook warning signs, and Amanda's skill at presenting the version of herself she thought I wanted. True connection, I realized, required complete honesty, even when that honesty revealed imperfections or uncomfortable truths. I also learned that happiness could not be outsourced to another person. In rebuilding my life, I discovered contentment in my own company in the quiet evenings, after Lily went to bed, in the small accomplishments of daily life. This internal peace became my foundation, something no one could take away. 1 year after Amanda first disappeared, Lily and I planted a garden in our backyard. As we pressed tiny seeds into the earth, I explained how plants need time and care to grow strong. "Even when we cannot see what is happening under the ground, important changes are taking place," I told her. She nodded solemnly, her small hands patting the soil with surprising gentleness. Watching her, I realized we had both transformed in ways I could never have imagined. The path had been unimaginably painful, but we had emerged stronger, more authentic, and more appreciative of the simple joy of being together. Sometimes losing someone who does not truly value you is actually finding yourself again. Have you ever had to rebuild your life after someone unexpectedly left? Share your story in the comments below. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe to hear more stories about overcoming betrayal and finding strength in unexpected places. Thank you for listening to my journey, and remember that sometimes our greatest challenges lead to our most meaningful growth.